All right, First and Goal podcast is finally back. Sam, you're really the host of the show. But yeah, NFL season off to a fantastic start, is everyone saying, but what's going on?
Nothing much. Happy to be back. But yeah, I mean, it was a good week one of football.
Yeah.
It
I
was
mean,
good
we're gonna
game.
we're gonna touch on a couple different things. I mean, we're gonna do some biggest takeaways. We're gonna ask if some players suck because they might. Week one MVP. So I mean, we'll do an MVP race kind of going throughout the entire season. Who is currently the front runner and who's just behind him? Um, should there be worry on certain quarterbacks? Not that they suck, but this is like they did not play that well. Um, QB's bouncing back. We're going to talk some Aaron Rodgers, and then we're going to finish this off with some power rankings and bold predictions for week two. Going forward, this will be a twice a week show, just so
Right.
everyone's aware, with a recap episode and a preview episode. But this is going to be kind of a little bit of both. We're not going to do a full preview. We're mostly just going to do a bold prediction for today. Shout out to our sponsors. We'll get to those in a second. Um, I feel like I kind of just want to start on this takeaway from week one just because it's fresh. Um, because it's not that fun to be a Bears fan right now.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest takeaway is probably coaching wins the day, where most matchups, I think the better coaching, especially week one, won the game.
All right, I'm let me go for a second here because I have an absolute rant to go on. The first three quarters of this game were great for the Bears. Ben Johnson scripted the first 15 plays. That's not a secret. The Bears offense did what they were supposed to do that first 15 plays. We went into this game not thinking we were going to win because you're missing two of the highest paid corners in the NFL in Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon. You're missing your top linebacker who would have been covering a running back later on in the game in TJ Edwards. You're missing everything. This is a new offense. This is still a young quarterback who showed some promise towards the end of the year, who is a 101 pick. For the Bears fans to be flipping so quickly on Caleb Williams, it is beyond me. He didn't play bad, if we're really talking about it. He doesn't turn the ball over. That's been a problem for the Bears forever. I mean, yes, he needs to
But
take some more chances. Hold on. He needs to
yeah,
take more chances. But that doesn't mean that he's a bad quarterback. This was year one of the Ben Johnson offense, which everyone has already said is a complicated offense to learn. And if you listen to Dan Orlovsky, if you listen to all these guys, they said it's going to take time. There's no reason that we are flipping on him because a fourth quarter lead was blown by a defense that was banged up. Yes, they could have done more on offense. Yes, he didn't perform well when it mattered. Also, if we're going to really talk about the penalties, we posted them. Some of them are egregious. There's a holding call on Darnell Wright, not even close to being a hold. Every single offensive lineman ever has already been all over Twitter saying it's not a hold. The turf at Soldier Field is notoriously bad. That's mostly the reason that Arlington Heights is happening, is because Soldier Field is so bad that no one can get their footing. Sure enough, there's a slip by I think it was Rager, but
Naylor.
Naylor, that's who it is. Yeah, I get those two confused. Naylor slips. Yes, Tyreek Stevenson kind of touches him a little bit on the back, but that's because he slipped right in front of him running full speed. This ball was also thrown 15 yards way beyond the reach after the slip had already happened. There's no reason that's an off or a DPI, which resulted in a first down instead of a fourth down. The people that are freaking out about the DJ Moore pass in the corner of the end zone, yes, that was a really bad pass. The fourth down, not good. Also, analytics are stupid because on 4th and 3, that early in the game, why are we going for it? Kick the field goal, get the points. We lose by 3, could have had 3 points. Um, the DJ Moore thing, yes, it was terrible. That drive still ended in a touchdown to Roma Dunze. Yeah, you would have liked to have the extra time on the clock for sure, but to be saying that Caleb and Ben Johnson are going to be failures after 1 week is insane. There's no reason to freak out yet. I'm not that worried. If the Bears would have won that game, I would have been saying they're a top 10 team. Lost in the game, I'm not saying they're a bottom 10 team. They're definitely in the bottom half though. But I'm not that upset about the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, I watched since I work early in the morning. I watched up until that pick six, and then I flipped the game off, and all I got was JJ McCarthy sucks, and I wake up to a text that says, "Never mind."
Yeah, JJ McCarthy still probably sucks. He did that against players that were playing in the third quarter of like the first preseason game. So like I'm not ready to crown him on that. The AJ, yes, he had some nice throws late in the game, but first three quarters, I don't even know if he knew he was playing football or if he looked like he had ever played football. I was making every Connor Stallions joke in the book. Yes, he'll be on the coaching staff pretty soon. Kevin O'Connell's a great coach, probably one of the top three in the league, if I'm being honest. JJ has one gene that not many quarterbacks have, and that's the gene to win games. And for whatever reason, he has it. He got it done. Congrats to him. But I don't think that if you're a Vikings fan, you can really feel that good going into today.
Well, I think the difference too is you saw the difference between one quarterback that creates and one quarterback that wants to run the offense. Which I wonder what at this point in their careers, what Ben Johnson would prefer. I mean, obviously he's going to have to grow into it, but there were
Well,
some
it's
plays
all
where Caleb left some stuff where it was underneath. He could have created or not thrown the deep ball as much, but I mean,
we
he does take care of the ball.
we have to realize he's been so screwed up by this offense. Clearly, Lincoln Riley is not a good coach because you're looking at it at the college level. So he was all just talent, and that's how he got to where he is. So, I mean, there's a lot of bad habits that needed to be kind of fixed. And Ben Johnson is the guy to be able to fix that. Clearly, because, I mean, look at the resurgence in Jared Goff, because we're going to talk about that. I mean, without Ben Johnson, the whole Lions offense looked terrible. Granted, the Packers defense is very good. And that's another thing no one's talking about. Most people had the Vikings as a top five defense going into the year.
Yeah, I thought the Vikings. I will say the Bears' offensive line looked a lot better than I thought it would.
They had one issue, and shockingly, it wasn't Braxton Jones, it was Jonah Jackson. However, we also have to remember he has not played a lot in the last however many years because of injury. I'm not really surprised he struggled a little bit. He didn't really play much in the preseason.
Yeah, I mean, their tackles looked pretty good. It was I think if they got pressure on Caleb up the middle, that's when he started to struggle.
Darnell Wright was the number one player for the Bears, and I'm pretty sure he was one of the top three tackles in football on the PFF rankings. So, I mean, I don't really understand how those rankings actually come to be a number, but I know typically outside of probably the quarterback position, they're pretty accurate.
Yeah, because I think I saw their ratings. I think Caleb was above JJ, which makes sense because they valued that pick six. But
When you and the fumble, like, how is that not a fumble on Hawkinson? I don't know if you saw this clip. It's 1 yard catch. He falls to the ground by himself. He's on a knee, but he's leaving the ball straight up in front of him. There's just a peanut punch. There's no contact to anything else. The ball clearly comes out, clearly recovered by the Bears. He's touched down. It was ruled down by contact. We throw the challenge flag, call stands. Any person with eyes is able to see that there's been no contact to the player. It was just straight punch to the ball. How is that not a fumble? That would have got the Bears the ball inside the 20 in the end of the third quarter. So, like, I understand that, like, it can't blame the refs for loss, but sometimes it's ridiculous. Like, and I know there's gonna be games where it's gonna happen to the Bears where they're gonna win because of a call, but I'm ready almost for robots to just come and officiate these games.
I mean, yeah,
At least we'll know it's fair.
yeah, because yeah, I mean, I've seen some pretty poor refereeing going for and against, but yeah,
All
I
right,
didn't
that's
even see that clip, but I just saw, yeah, I saw JJ. Like from what I saw, JJ McCarthy did not look good for the first three quarters, and then he played out of his mind for the fourth. I guess now to get us off the NFC North, I think the other game everyone's talking about is that insane Bills comeback in the fourth quarter. Is Josh
yeah.
Allen quarterback in the NFL right now?
Josh Allen is the best football player in
on the planet.
in the planet. Like I've never seen someone who just has that much belief in themselves that can also put it down like he does.
He has
He literally
that.
can do everything.
He has the Rodgers arm, but more athletic and bigger,
Yeah. He
and throws
looks
a little further.
and I mean, not that this makes you a better football player. He's a very likable guy.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a Packer Bill Super Bowl at this point, but yeah, Josh
I
Allen
have
is
the Bills
incredible.
winning the Super Bowl. That's not a bold prediction. I mean, there's plenty of people that would tell you that.
I think if their weapons hold up, I mean, Dalton Kincaid looks good. Uh, Keon Coleman looked pretty good on Sunday too.
Yeah.
But I think if their weapons
Shakir,
hold up and if they can get a run game going,
Shakir's fine. James Cook's good. I mean, this team has it.
yeah.
It's just can they stay healthy? That's really what it's going to come down to. Going from really, really good and then to really, really bad before we go on a little break. CJ Stroud. There's always been the Ohio State quarterbacks, like they don't play well in the NFL. He had a great rookie season. No one's denying that,
Yeah.
but he might not be good.
Well, I think the issue is he's not for what quarterbacks are now, he's not the most mobile guy. And that offensive line is horrible. It's like Aaron Rodgers to start his carear bad in Green Bay.
It
Like
honestly
Marshall
feels
Newhouse
like
at
it
every
feels like now that
position.
we got tape on him, he's not he's not CJ Stroud of rookie year.
Granted, he probably did go up against what could be a top 5 to 10 defense this year in LA.
Yeah,
But
but
as a fantasy owner of Nico Collins, that wasn't what I wanted to see.
no, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like he had a lot of weapons for a while.
What? Tank Dell's still hurt.
Tank
Diggs
Dell
is
is, I think, still out for the year, and then
yeah.
he lost Diggs midway through last year.
They picked up
Um, is Dalton Schultz still a tight end there?
I believe
I
so.
believe, and then they have Cade Stover, I know, but
And
like
then they
that's
picked
not a
up
great, it's not a great supporting cast.
they
Your
picked up
running back
Christian
room
Kirk.
is terrible.
Was this last? I think they picked up Christian Kirk right this offseason
Yeah,
or
they got him this offseason,
yeah.
but
I mean,
that entire offense looks awful. D'Amico Ryans sneakily might be coaching for his job.
I don't I don't
If
think
this
so. That
team wins
division is
six
so
games,
bad.
they go 6-11.
I don't see that. That division is so bad.
Ah, eh.
I mean, the Colts looked really good, but was that the
They played the
Colts looking bad or
Dolphins.
just the Dolphins?
Yeah, no, that was probably the Dolphins.
Because talk about the big no, talk about a guy that sucks. Tua.
We'll get into it. But yeah, let's real quick get a sponsor read. We'll be back on the other side of the break. Just a quick break in the podcast. We need to shout out our friends over at BuckedUp Energy. Use code WINNERS, W1NN3RS, for a percentage off of your next order. BuckedUp is the premier user for pre-workout supplements such as amino acids, fat loss, endurance stacks, babe stacks for the lucky lady in your life. Use code WINNERS, W1NN3RS. Let's get in shape together. Use BuckedUp. Again, use code WINNERS. All right, that was an ad read from Bucked Up. We're back. Um, so let's talk about some quarterbacks that we know have played well in the past. I'm not saying CJ Stroud hasn't, but guys that have a lot of hope. But which one should be maybe a lot of worry, some worry? Let's do basically like a fuck Mary kill of worry for Tua, Bo Nix, and Drake May. I'll let you start.
I mean,
And let's say that Kill is like he might not have a job next year. Mary, we're still moving forward with.
I just think Drake May had a bad game. I think he has the most potential out of all of them. I've seen him play out of his mind. I think it was a bad day. Again, I think what they have a new offense and Josh McDaniels implementing a new offense. I'm guessing it's probably not the easiest to learn,
No.
but I think worst is probably Tua. That contract the Miami Dolphins gave him looks horrible.
Yeah, Tua is, I mean, between the injuries, the contract, the dysfunction down in Miami, I feel like he's not going to have a job there for much longer. I believe their backup is Zach Wilson, so I don't see them moving off of him unless there's an injury. Or no, is it Quinn Ewers? Or do they have both?
Possibly both. I have no idea.
Um, Either way, I don't see him losing his job this season unless there's an injury, which I mean, there's a possibility. Anytime he steps on the field, I'm a little worried about Tua.
Yeah.
Bo Nix, I'm a little worried about. Um, I I know Sean Payton's a great coach. Bo Nix is an older guy. Like I just don't know how to evaluate him. And then Drake May, he's probably going to be fine. It is a new system, just like Caleb, so let's pump the brakes, I think, a little bit. But Drake May, UNC quarterbacks have not been great inside the NFL. As a Bears fan, I know that pretty clearly. And Mitch Trubisky, then you have Sam Howell. Is he just the next one in line? We hope not for the Patriots' sake. But I think he has the most upside still. But it's going to be a pretty rough go, I think, for the entire season for all three, regardless if they make the playoffs or not.
Yeah, I mean Drake May, like you said with Caleb, they have to get a running game going. Granted, they actually have running backs that probably can with
Yeah.
Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson. But I think Josh McDaniels is such a good play caller. He'll figure something out.
And you know what? Bo Nix is going to get carried by that defense all year. And that's
Yeah.
totally okay.
And same with Sean
He doesn't
Payton.
have weapons. I'll give him that. He does not have the weapons that he should have. The Broncos could be a sneaky team to kind of be on the monitor for a guy like Tyreek Hill, or if DJ Moore keeps throwing these fits on the Bears sideline, possibly a DJ Moore.
Yeah, did you see that? There was already, or obviously, there was rumors of Kansas City wanting Tyreek Hill back.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense. Like they're not very good, so at wide receiver right now, I should say, and he knows that team so well. I think that's where he always wanted to be anyway. I see him kind of going back. However, I think he did get arrested for domestic violence today.
Well, I mean, the Chiefs don't have that big of an issue with that.
No, they never have.
They care more about what you do on the field than what you do off the field.
So I think we're in agreement though.
Yeah,
I guess we're marrying Drake
Drake
May,
May,
fuck Bo Nix, and killing
killing.
Tua. Oh, geez. We can't be the guys that kill Tua. Someone else has to do it.
It'll happen on the field.
I mean, some linebacker will kill Tua. So from the bad to the good, week one MVP, I have a feeling we already kind of talked about him, but it's got to be Josh Allen, right?
Yeah, it's Josh Allen.
I mean, who are who are the guys that right now are in that rear view mirror, just so close to being there? Um,
I mean, if you're
because
going
I
off
feel like
stats,
I
Danny
feel like it's the
Dimes.
same people. Well, yes, technically, yes, he had one of the best weeks. But if you
Dimes
were
looks
like if you
really
were
good.
putting money down, who are like the four guy, I give you $100 to put on four different guys, and if you don't win on those four picks, I'm gonna shoot you in the head. Who are the four that you're taking?
I mean, obviously, Lamar or Josh Allen,
Yeah,
probably Lamar.
yeah.
Uh, do I go? I'd probably go Jalen Hurts at this point.
He was one that I was thinking about. I mean, my number three, I think, is Joe Burrow still.
Yeah,
Getting
he
a
had a
win
rough
there is
week, but
huge. But I mean, like, he's not gonna be he's getting a win is actually an improvement from every other season he's had.
yeah, I mean, Joe
So,
Burrow is. They're going to bounce back with those weapons.
and we're
They,
talking about
they got to
bouncing back
win.
from a win. Like, let's not
Yeah, and it's not
like
a bad. It's not a bad Cleveland Browns defense either.
no.
Like their
I mean,
offense isn't great, but
the
their
Browns
defense
are
is pretty
dysfunctional
solid.
for sure, but like they're not that bad at defense at least. Um, and then I don't know, four, I almost want to say Baker.
Baker is very at this point in his career. Baker's very underrated. I did
Like
not think he'd turn into this.
Baker has I mean, he didn't look pretty at all times. but he found a way to win that game. He has every weapon. He hasn't even gotten Godwin back.
Kate Otten still look. You still can get Kate Otten involved. That
Great
run
running back in
game
Bucky
is
Irving.
good.
Great
That
running back
defense
in
is
Bucky.
good.
So
I
I
think
think I think my number four right now has to be Baker.
I could see the Bucks being a sneaky one seed possibility in the NFC this year.
Yeah. I that's who I have losing to the Bills in the Super Bowl. That's who I had preseason. I think that this is the year that Baker gets over the hump in the playoffs, but also Josh Allen's going to get over the hump. And I think that a game in California, in Northern California at San Fran, I think that this game goes to the Bills as of right now. I mean, it's only September 9th, so a lot
Yeah.
of things can happen, but I still have the Bills over the Bucks. All right, last thing before we go to another break. What team that lost should be the most optimistic? I'll let you start.
I mean, let's see.
And I mean, there's quite a few good teams that lost.
I mean, I'm not going to take the cop out answer of the Ravens
No, I wasn't gonna do that either. So
or the
that's
Chiefs.
no, even though they are in last place right now.
Honestly, team that looked pretty solid that lost was the Seahawks. Like that defense, if that
Yeah,
defense can play well, they have they have weapons around Darnold. I've seen what Darnold can do if he can get the ball downfield.
that's gonna come down
And
to coaching. I think
they
that's
have
what the Seahawks issue is.
I think they have good coaching.
Well, yeah, but like we have to see it. Like
Yeah.
obviously we are seeing that Kevin O'Connell is a genius and
Yeah.
he really helped Sam Darnold. So if you can get that, if you can unlock that Sam Darnold, then you're doing something right, I would say.
Even if they can get like 80% of what Sam Darnold was last year, I think that puts them almost as favorites in that division.
Yeah, I that division is weird
Well,
because
the Rams are the favorites, but you can't trust Stafford at this point to stay healthy.
yeah, I don't disagree. All right, I'm gonna go a completely different direction though here. Team that lost that should be pretty optimistic, the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints are going to be one of the worst three football teams in the league. They might not be the worst because the Miami Dolphins exist and the Cleveland Browns have some weird quarterback situation going on.
Or the Giants.
The Giants will win some games once Russ is Russ is gone. Um, but I think if you're a Saints fan, knowing what you did with Spencer Rattler, granted it was against the Cardinals, I'm not too upset. I feel like you can win some games just moving this way. And I almost think you don't want to win these games because if you can get a top quarterback in this league or in this draft class, which seems to be pretty loaded. Granted,
Yeah,
some of
what?
these guys didn't play well at the college level this last week. Like Nussmeier didn't play great against La Tech. Klubnik has looked pretty brutal so far through 2 weeks. Um,
Arch looked better.
I thought Arch was sitting another year. I mean, I know that's
I
just
think it's
what.
going to depend on. I think that with that family, it's going to depend on who has a pick.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of it makes sense to do it that way, to be
They did it
honest.
with Eli.
Yeah, and I mean honestly, Arch Manning didn't look great either. Week 1 against Ohio State, and then the
Against,
first 2 drives he didn't look great, but he really he really turned it on in the second half of
I mean,
whatever cupcake game they played.
I'm not judging him though for his first game as a starter being at Ohio State against the defending national champions.
It's his first game as a starter on the road. He started a couple games last
Oh, he
year
did.
at Texas, yeah. But I mean, he was also playing, I think,
Little sisters
again,
before.
like UTEP. Like he wasn't playing anyone worth noting ever. Like he's never gonna be like they're never gonna be like, do you remember that performance by Arch Manning against uh Cal Stone or Cal State, Stony Brook, whatever bullshit schools are gonna play. So they're just not gonna talk about that type of game. So yes, the Saints are really bad. Let's get it back to the NFL. Yes, the Saints are really bad, but that defense, granted, Cam Jordan's another year older next year, and I don't know how much longer he's going to play, but you don't have that many pieces missing as it may seem from the outside.
Oh yeah. If they can have a couple of decent drafts here coming up, I could see them bouncing back in a couple of years, especially if they can get their quarterback. I like their weapons are solid, not great, but solid.
And then we didn't have anything on the sheet for this, but it just popped in my head. The Panthers are still in trouble. I thought Bryce Young was going to come out this year and play pretty well. He still sucks.
Yeah, I thought he'd have a better. He looked better towards the end of last season, but yeah, he had a rough week one,
I don't have any other notes on that. I just wanted to kind of put it out there. Like Bryce Young is not very good.
especially because he has solid enough weapons. What McMillan looked solid.
Yeah,
Hunter Renfro's back in the NFL.
they traded Thielen, but he has Leggett.
Leggett, Jatavion Sanders, Chuba Hubbard's a solid running back,
Right.
and
All
that
right, we're
defense is good.
yeah, we're gonna go into one more break and then we're gonna come back. We'll talk about um what quarterbacks are gonna bounce back, the aging wonder that is Aaron Rodgers, and then our top five power rankings, and then a bold prediction for week two. And then that'll be the end of our first show back going into week two, recapping week one. We'll see you guys on the other side. Taking a quick break to tell you about our friends over at SeatGeek. With SeatGeek, you can get tickets to your favorite sporting events, concerts, plays, and much more. It's so simple. Use code JDIETRICH, spelled JDIETRICH, and they're going to hook you up with $20 off your next order. Use in the app or online to use their easy to navigate website. We're looking at tickets for the Lions versus Bears this weekend. You can even see your view from your seat on the website. Again, the code is JDIETRICH, spelled JDIETRICH. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets. All right, we thank you to our new sponsor at SeatGeek. As we were in the middle of doing this, Adam Schefter has broken the news, so you're getting a pretty live reaction. Christian Watson is getting an extension from the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's a 1 year deal.
What was the money on it, though?
It was 1 year, I think 13 point like two. That's not bad for a wide
It's
receiver nowadays.
not, but like, it's a real question. When he is healthy, is he even a top four wide receiver for the Packers? Like, what is his role when he comes back?
His role, I think, is well when he's in the his role is so weird because when he's in the offense, it opens so much up for everyone else. I mean, it's a little much, I think. It's a little
Dobbs,
much.
Reed, Golden. I
Well,
guess
I
he would
know
be wide receiver four.
Dobbs probably is not coming back. I'll say that.
He's only getting 1 year out of this.
Yeah. And I think it was kind of because he's coming back from that ACL.
All right, well, it's a bold move. That's all I'm gonna say. Before we didn't know that was gonna happen. Uh, let's talk about quarterbacks bouncing back. We're just gonna go quick through this. What is one quarterback had a bad week? Who do you expect to bounce back going into week two?
Uh, I think let me see who the Patriots play, but I could see Drake May bouncing back.
I mean, I'm just gonna say it. Caleb Williams is gonna bounce back. This is also the Ben Johnson return to Detroit. And before anyone says it, bounce back to what? Like, what is bouncing back to? That's a good question. But I think he's going to play okay. I think he's going to show that this is not too much for him. Um, and yeah, I think he's gonna be just fine.
It's the Patriots at the Dolphins this week.
Yeah, I mean, he should
If
probably
Dan,
play pretty well.
if Danny Dimes looked that good against that Dolphins defense.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks that did not play well week one. And that's usually the case with week one. So I mean, to say someone's going to bounce back is probably not too far-fetched. I think that there's going to be a lot of guys that probably won't bounce back, if we're being honest. There's going to be a lot of guys that this is just who they are. Tua is going to be one of the biggest examples. I don't think he's going to play well. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a weird situation.
Hey, Just I'm going to throw this in because I forgot to. What a week from Justin Herbert. What a game. Just because
Uh,
I know how much you don't like, how much, how little faith you had in him. What a game against that Chiefs defense.
I'm gonna spin zone this. For the first time ever, I drafted him in a fantasy football league, so I did know that this was gonna happen finally.
But what a game with those weapons.
Yeah,
That
Quentin Johnson might be Randy Moss.
if he can catch
Yeah, I mean
consistently.
him and CeeDee Lamb were basically playing Freaky Friday.
Yeah. But Justin Herbert looked incredible. I don't put him up in that MVP conversation if he keeps playing like this, but hats off to you, Justin.
And I'm gonna give you this entire next segment because you can speak to it without getting angry. I would get very angry. So you just talk about it for a little bit while I go turn on the lights in this backyard. Aaron Rodgers, is he back?
He did look good. I He's the type of guy that would have that performance out of spite, and it sounded like he would that's kind of what it was, especially in his post game press conference where he said, I wanted to what was it? I wanted to like show everybody or something in New York that disrespected me, but he has the weapons there. If that defense can play anything, I would not put him as top contenders, but that defense can play anything like they had the last couple of years. Probably going to be a if he puts up like half of what he did, this should be probably a playoff team this year. I think it's not like he played poorly last year either. He had a
No,
solid
that's
season.
kind of the thing that no one's really understanding. Like he didn't play bad. He just didn't play Aaron Rodgers level good.
He put exactly. He said, "In my worst seasons are some quarterbacks' best seasons."
Yeah. A
And
lot of teams would have done really well with that version of
he
Aaron
had a
Rodgers.
pretty he had like an average season, and people are writing him off.
Yeah, I think he had like 28 touchdowns.
Yeah, and I think like 11 or 12 picks.
Whatever. But he looked fine last year. I mean, maybe not if you're a Jets fan because you didn't win as many games. He didn't play that bad. That team
Now,
also not very good. So
if
I
if the
I think Aaron
Colts had
Rodgers,
that kind of quarterback play, they'd easily win their division.
yeah, I mean, one of Aaron Rodgers' touchdowns was basically a handoff to Johnny Smith, but nonetheless, 4 touchdowns, it looked pretty good. We do have
Yeah.
to note November 23rd, the Pittsburgh Steelers go to Chicago. So Aaron Rodgers will be playing in Chicago. There's two curses on the line. One of them will still be intact by the end of that game. The Pittsburgh Steelers have never won a football game in the NFL in Chicago. And
And
the
Aaron
Bears
Rodgers,
are owned by Aaron Rodgers. So one of those two things is going to finally end.
yeah,
I'm hoping and praying to God Almighty it is that the Steelers leave Chicago still winless.
I think he has. I mean, obviously, he has these performances in him. I think he. I can see it coming. I think they come. I think the Steelers come to Green Bay as well.
Yeah.
I think he. I could see him putting up a performance like that against the Packers.
I almost wonder if it's more important for him to win the game against the Packers because then I have to imagine he has a win against every single NFL franchise.
Yeah,
Or if it's more important for him to still continue to own the Bears. If he had to pick, like he has to go 1-1, he has to pick which one he wins that game. Knowing him, he's such a dickhead, he's gonna pick the Bears. But but I
I
mean
think it's the
it
Packers.
it is an ego thing too. I mean,
They traded him away to get what to. I think it's gonna be like when Favre returned, where he's like, I want to kick their asses.
yeah, I mean, and I'm not really convinced the Steelers are that good still. I mean, they gave up 32 to the Justin Fields led Jets.
He looks solid.
He looked okay. He looked all right. He might have finally found a home. Like we'll give him that. But I don't
Yeah.
know how much I would really trust it. If I was a Jets fan, I'd be pretty happy for week one. Still lost the game, but there's promising things in sight.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna mute you as we go into power rankings. Instead of going one at a time, let's just pound them out through my list, through your list. And we'll go five through one. I'll start. So I'm gonna mute you real quick. All right. Starting off at number five, I talked about him being in the Super Bowl for my prediction. They didn't look that great as they played a division rival. Now, a win is a win. This was a game that they did not win last year. Number five is the Baker Mayfield led Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that there's a lot to be said about a team that finally overcame that. I think there's a lot of people that thought they might have given up the edge in that division to the Falcons. I think that this proves this team is still going to be just as solid as they were last year. I think this actually shows that they're probably ready to even move on further in the playoffs than I started thinking weeks ago. So I like the Buccaneers at number five. At number four, I do have the only team that lost inside my top five. It is the Baltimore Ravens. Yes, the Baltimore Ravens lost. They lost 41-40. The defense could not stop Josh Allen, but let's be real, there's probably not going to be many defenses in the league that can stop Josh Allen. On the other side, you had Derrick Henry, who outside of one fumble that really did cost them the game, you had a Derrick Henry that is 32 years old, looking like one of the best running backs in the NFL. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, along with probably his quarterback, as long as he can rattle off some playoff wins and possibly eventually a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson is still going to be a top three quarterback in this league right now. I never said that before. I thought that his legs kind of were just what he was for a long time. These past few seasons, he's really shown himself as a passer. The Ravens are my number two, or sorry, number four team in the NFL in these power rankings. Number three, as a Bears fan, it really hurts to say, but the Green Bay Packers, they're really giving a run for the money to win the NFC just outright. They could be a number one seed going into the playoffs based on that performance week one. This offense or this team is going to only go as far as Jordan Love can take them. If Jordan Love starts to stumble, that's where this team is going to have their issues. Luckily for them, Jordan Love's played very solid for a very long time at this point. So Jordan Love has to continue to do this if he wants to maintain a top five rankings, but there's no indication that he's not going to, especially when you have a wide receiver core that, yes, it's deep, quote unquote, is what people are saying, but there's no star in this entire team. You're hoping Matthew Golden is that piece, but Tucker Kraft's a very good tight end in the NFL. The defense looks unreal with the addition of Micah Parsons. Um, they are my number two team in the NFC to the number two team in my power rankings, the defending champ Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Eagles have no reason. You cannot punish them for playing the Cowboys. Their defense did struggle a little bit in that first half, but then in that second half, they turned it on. The Eagles looked great. Jalen Hurts, we said he could be an MVP candidate through 1 week. Obviously, there's a lot of football to be played, but when you're the defending champs, you start off 1-0 and you play your rival team and you beat them pretty convincingly, honestly. I know the score might have been closer than what they probably hope, but you have the best running back in the NFL. You have two wide receivers that barely got involved, in Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. I don't expect that to continue. The Philadelphia Eagles are still a great team, but the only reason they cannot be number one is because of our MVP, Josh Allen. The Bills are unreal. The fight that this team has, yes, they gave up 40 points. Yes, the defense looks like it could be a problem, but it almost doesn't matter when you have Josh Allen back there at quarterback. Josh Allen is an absolute monster. He is going to take this team as far as he can because we all know that there's no one really other on that roster, anyone else on that roster that can do what he can do in terms of flipping a game upside down. But I don't see anyone stopping this man. He's too big, too strong, too athletic. Um, and at the quarterback position, he truly is a unicorn. So give me the Bills at number one. That is my top five going into week two.
Yeah, I agree with most of what you have in your top five. Uh, mine is my fifth team is the Washington Commanders. They made it all the way to the NFC Championship game last year. They looked pretty good in week one against a weak Giants team, but They improved their O line, which was a weakness. They got Jaden Daniels another weapon, and their defense should be better this year as well. So I have them at number 5. I got the team that has went to 3 straight Super Bowls. Maybe didn't look the best week 1, but and it's only 1 week, and I can't put them any lower at this point than that. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. They have a top 3 or 4 quarterback in the NFL. On any given week, he can be number 1. Their weapons at this point in the season aren't the best, but they should get Xavier Worthy back. Rashee Rice should come back from that injury. And what? I think I saw a stat that before this game, the Chiefs had won 17 straight one-score games. So I had the Chiefs at number 4. Number 3, I have the Baltimore Ravens. They are an amazing comeback by Josh Allen away from being 1-0 and possibly being number 1 in these rankings. It's tough to go into Buffalo and win. Granted, they choked twice now in a row in Buffalo, but their Derrick Henry fumble away. That offense looked incredible for the first 3 quarters of that game. So I have a 2-time MVP in Lamar Jackson here at number 3. Number 2, I have the Buffalo Bills. The reigning MVP looked incredible. They might not have the best team around him, but I've seen what an incredible quarterback can do for a team. I've seen Rodgers drag worse teams further in the playoffs than what Josh Allen has around them, and Josh Allen has that level of talent. I If he's on, I don't see a team stopping him. It's just if that defense can hold them to a probably under 30 points at this point, and should make it to a Super Bowl if they can do that in the postseason. And at number 1, I have the reigning defending champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. Like you said, they played the Cowboys week 1. I think they were a little deflated too with Jalen Carter getting tossed out after the first play of the game, not even playing defense for spitting on Dak. But that team played incredible all last year. I think they're the deepest team in the NFL. And yeah, I've seen what that D line can do. I've seen what those weapons can do for Jalen Hurts, and they have arguably the best player in the NFL as well as Saquon Barkley running behind him, behind an incredible offensive line. So I had the Philadelphia Eagles at 1.
So we're gonna do that every single week from here on out. Yeah, I think it looked pretty good. If you guys aren't following already on all our social medias, you guys will see clips from this episode on Instagram, on X, on TikTok, on Threads. We will have shorts on YouTube. You guys can find the full podcast on anywhere you're streaming your site or streaming your podcasts. The visual versions on YouTube, Rumble, and on X. But before we go, let's close it out with bold predictions for week 2. What is your boldest prediction for week 2? And we're going to start doing a scoreboard. If it happens, we obviously get a point. If it doesn't, no point. And then we'll have to figure out like a punishment or a reward, I guess. Probably not a punishment because if it's super bold, then we shouldn't punish each other for that. But we got to figure out a reward for the winner at the end of the season.
Okay. My bold prediction is I think Washington goes into Green Bay and gets the win.
All right.
I think the Packers looked incredible, but I
That's
also
not where I thought this was going.
think that that was such an emotional game for them to come back and beat Detroit. Detroit has owned the Packers the last couple of years, and I think they really wanted it. I think everyone in that organization was like so up for that game. I don't know. I mean, Washington is a great team too, so maybe they won't have a lull. But that Washington team does have an improved offensive line. I want to see what Micah Parsons can. I mean, according to everything I'm hearing, he was fighting for even more playing time than what he got week 1. And I want to see what he does week 2. coming back, see if that back's still feeling better. I mean, maybe it was a fake injury, so he wouldn't get fined by the Dallas Cowboys for missing those off-season workouts because that's a way around the CBA. But I just have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to be a little letdown for the Packers, the youngest team in the NFL. If not, ooh, this could be a special season if they keep playing like that. But yeah, I just have a sneaking suspicion there's going to be a little bit of a letdown. Maybe I think Washington walks away with a one 3-point victory in Green Bay.
That's definitely not where I thought you were going to go, but I think mine might be a little bit more bold. Not one, but two Super Bowl hopeful teams going into the season start off 0-2, and not only do they start off 0-2, they both lose double-digit games. The Lions and the Chiefs are going to lose by 10 plus points. Yes, the Lions are playing the Bears. I have not said much good things about the Bears, but I think Ben Johnson goes in to Ford Field in Detroit, gets his flowers, even though everyone said they're going to be booing him, which I totally understand. It's a rival team. But Ben Johnson's going to go in there. The offense is probably going to be humming because he did say he dialed back the playbook week one. Probably not the smartest choice, but I think he goes in there. I think the Detroit Lions start off 0-2, lose by 10 points, and then the Eagles absolutely put a hurting on the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that this team repeats what they basically did in the Super Bowl. I don't think this game is close. I think the Eagles show that that wasn't a fluke, and the Eagles escape 2-0, and the Kansas City Chiefs are in a spot that they have not been in for, I think it was 2011 the last time that this happened. 0-2, last place in the AFC West, and it's going to be a hard climb up with that division, with all three of them being 1-0 currently.
They are probably in the second best division in football.
I don't know. I thought the NFC North was good, but I think there might only be one good team.
Oh, the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears. All right, let's you already I fucking hate you. Let's get out of here. We'll see you guys next week. We'll record hopefully Sunday night during the Sunday night football game. So we won't have like a full recap of Sunday night football, nor obviously Monday night football. Episode will be released Monday, and then we'll re-release probably Thursday morning, recording on Wednesday, of a week 3 preview for next week. So this is just going to be a one-off from how it's usually going to go. But we'll see you guys next week. Good luck to all your teams, unless it's the Detroit Lions.